Good morning/afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to this important presentation on understanding stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. Today, we'll be exploring what these concepts really mean, how they differ from one another, and the powerful impact they have on our society. Let's dive in and deepen our understanding together. Stereotypes are essentially simplified and generalized beliefs about a group of people. These beliefs are usually based on characteristics like race, gender, or culture. One key thing to understand is that stereotypes assign the same traits to every individual in that group, which means they overlook the unique differences between people. While stereotypes can sometimes seem positive, more often than not, they lead to misunderstandings and biases. For example, common stereotypes include ideas like all teenagers are irresponsible, women are bad drivers, or artists are messy. These examples show how stereotypes can unfairly categorize people without considering their individuality. When we talk about prejudice, we're referring to a preconceived attitude, usually negative, that someone holds toward a person or group. This attitude isn't based on real knowledge or personal experience, but rather on stereotypes or unfounded beliefs. Essentially, it's making judgments without truly knowing the individuals involved. For example, someone might feel distrust toward a whole group of people without ever having met any of them, or they might hold negative views about immigrants simply based on where they come from, rather than their actions or character. It's important to understand the key difference here. Prejudice relates to feelings and attitudes, while stereotypes are more about the beliefs or ideas we have about certain groups. Both are harmful, but they operate in slightly different ways. Discrimination refers to behaviors or actions that treat people unfairly because of prejudice. It means denying individuals their rights, opportunities, or fair treatment simply because they belong to a certain group. For example, in employment, discrimination might look like refusing to hire someone based on their race. Another example is segregation, where people are separated in schools or neighborhoods because of their background. Wage inequality is also a form of discrimination, where people are paid different amounts solely based on their gender. These examples help us understand how discrimination affects everyday life and why it's important to address. Here, we're comparing stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination to understand how they differ. First, stereotypes are cognitive. They're the beliefs or ideas we hold about certain groups. These are mental shortcuts or generalizations. Prejudice, on the other hand, is affective, meaning it involves feelings or attitudes, often negative ones, that we have toward those groups. So while stereotypes are about what we think, prejudice is about how we feel. Moving on, prejudice remains an internal feeling or attitude, but discrimination is what happens when those feelings influence our behavior. Discrimination involves actions taken against people based on those prejudiced attitudes. So essentially, stereotypes shape beliefs, prejudice colors our emotions, and discrimination translates those feelings into real-world actions. Understanding these distinctions helps us see how bias moves from thought to feeling to behavior. Here, we see real-world examples that highlight the difference between stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. First, a stereotype, the belief that women are less skilled in math. This isn't just a harmless assumption. It often leads to women being underestimated in educational settings, affecting their opportunities and confidence. Then we have prejudice, which is about feelings. For instance, someone might feel uncomfortable or fearful towards people from another ethnicity without ever having personal interaction with them. These feelings are based on biases, not facts. Finally, discrimination is when these ideas and feelings turn into actions. Historical examples include the Jim Crow laws that enforced racial segregation in the U.S., or workplace practices that deny promotions to minorities. These show how harmful beliefs and emotions can translate into concrete barriers, impacting individuals and entire communities at many levels. Understanding the impact of stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination is crucial because they contribute to systemic inequality and social injustice. These attitudes and behaviors don't just affect individuals, they shape entire communities and systems. The consequences of prejudice and discrimination are profound, often causing emotional harm, limiting opportunities, and perpetuating cycles of poverty and marginalization. That's why awareness and education about the differences among these concepts are so important. When we become more informed, we can start to reduce our own biases and challenge those embedded in society. This understanding also fosters empathy, encouraging us to see the world from others' perspectives. It supports the creation of inclusive policies and promotes fair treatment for everyone. Ultimately, grasping these ideas plays a vital role in both personal growth and broader societal change. It pushes us to reflect on our own beliefs and actions while moving society toward greater diversity and inclusion. This is how real progress begins.